This is Cassius with Tryptamine Astrology Readings, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the chart of Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, of course, and the possibility that Eris activated in his chart, the dwarf planet Eris, is, well, a strong component of this person's fate, of this person's revolutionary conviction. And I'm going to explore the possibility that Uranus conjunct Eris in the sky right now. Right now, it's been active since June. It last happened in 1930. I'm going to explore the possibility that Uranus conjunct Eris in the sky right now is like a next phase of the ideological Uranus purging Pluto of the great once every 84-year Uranus square Pluto, which happened from 2012 to 2015 and is slightly still active. I'm saying that Uranus conjunct the dwarf planet Eris is the next phase of the ideological purging, of the awakening, of the unveiling of political Uranus power that's been happening this whole decade. First, it was Uranus square Pluto from 2012 to 2015. The Uranus square Pluto was activated and intensified in certain periods of time with aspects such as Jupiter in Gemini sextile Uranus and Aries in early 2013. And then in fall of 2014 and summer of 2015, Jupiter in Leo trined Uranus in Aries as Uranus squared Pluto and accelerated the ideological Uranus purging Pluto, the political Uranus revealing Pluto. And now, at the end of 2016, beginning of 2017, and all of 2017 almost, Jupiter in Libra will oppose Uranus and Eris in Aries. Jupiter will be faithfully conjunct the dwarf planet Haumea as it opposes Uranus conjunct Eris. And I'm telling you right now, I believe that these dwarf planets connect us to certain deep, far out light rays of the signs they're in, deep, far out energies that are not normally tapped into. And I believe these planets like Eris, Pluto, Orcus, Makemake, Haumea, they are part of something that we're just barely starting to get a grip on. And we have an impeccable opportunity to understand what Eris truly does right now. And especially when planets conjoin Eris or oppose it. And I don't believe these dwarf planets are activatable by anything except for conjunctions and oppositions, except for Pluto, perhaps because of its size, and especially Pluto right now because Pluto is about to be conjunct its heliocentric north node, which occurs around 25 degrees Capricorn and 25 degrees Cancer. And that's the point where Pluto is literally conjunct the belt of all planets, the ecliptic, in its orbit around the sun. Because, say this is the ecliptic, this ascendant descendant axis. That's the belt of all planets on a diagram. Pluto and the other dwarf planets are at an inclination to the belt of all planets, to where they only touch it twice in its orbit around the sun. And so the place where Pluto touches it, its heliocentric north nodes, north and south nodes, are in Capricorn and Cancer. So, here's what I think about Julian Assange. First of all, Julian Assange was born one day after my dad the same year. Julian Assange has an almost identical chart to my dad. And one of the reasons I believe so strongly in the North Node is because my dad and Julian Assange have North Node at precisely 15 degrees Aquarius. And my dad and Julian Assange have Mars at exactly the same degree as my Mars in Aquarius. And that is my chart. Sun at 15 degrees Aquarius, Mars at 21 degrees Aquarius, my chart. Julian Assange has North Node at 15 degrees, Mars at 21 degrees, just like my father. So he has Chiron precisely conjunct Eris, with Uranus and Libra precisely opposite Chiron and Eris. That's close to my North Node conjunct Chiron and South Node conjunct Eris. See? I'm not trying to, like, brag or anything. I just think that Eris must have something to do with this great revealing of things from WikiLeaks that is happening right now. I think that this Uranus conjunct Eris going on right now is the second phase to the Great Awakening, the great ideological purging that we've been feeling this last several years with Uranus square the dwarf planet Pluto. I think Uranus conjunct Eris is the next phase of that. And as the North Node approaches its conjunction to Orcus, my dwarf planet with my sun opposition Orcus and my moon conjunct it, not to sound in any way egomaniacal or anything, but I think that there's something great happening right now with the North Node starting to conjoin Orcus, with Uranus conjunct Eris, with Uranus square Pluto still, with Jupiter about to conjoin Haumea to oppose Eris. I think that I predicted it earlier this year too, but I didn't know that it would feel quite like this. I think this is truly how it is. So, back to Julian Assange. He has South Node conjunct Makemake, and I've noticed this thing with people that are just kind of special, where they have their South Node conjunct a dwarf planet precisely. I've noticed this in so many people. I have it too. South Node conjunct Eris. That would allude to some kind of past life connection to some kind of dwarf planet. Like this dwarf planet births the soul or something like that. I have no idea. But I think that when I tell you this, I can trigger something in your own intuition that will lead you to your own personal understanding of this. So, actually, Julian Assange perfectly shares a birthday with my dad, now that I think about it, because he was born on July 3rd in Australia, and my dad was born on July 2nd in the United States, because my dad's moon is in Scorpio right there, so it's nearly identical. That's incredible. He has Saturn conjunct the dwarf planet Varuna, Chiron precisely conjunct Eris, opposition Uranus. So, the ideological core of Julian Assange is infused with Eris in the same exact way that Uranus is conjunct Eris right now. It's especially interesting to me because my Chiron is opposite Eris. My North Node is conjunct Chiron, perfectly opposition Eris. And my Sun is exactly where Julian Assange's North Node is, with his Mars in the exact same place, just like my father. Very strange. He has Saturn conjunct the dwarf planet Varuna, suggesting that his discipline, his purpose and discipline and rigid discipline, his Saturn, is deeply just piercing into this thing of Varuna that I don't know much about. But this Saturn imbued with the depth of Varuna is opposition at Jupiter conjunct Neptune. This was one of the only great Jupiter-Neptune-Saturn configurations before the 1989 Jupiter in Cancer opposition Uranus and Saturn conjunct Neptune in Capricorn, the 1989 Jupiter-Neptune-Saturn configuration. There was this, and then there was the 2016 Jupiter-Neptune-Saturn configuration that was Saturn square Neptune and Jupiter opposition Neptune square Saturn. So, that's the way these cycles go. As Uranus is conjunct Eris right now. The last time Uranus was activating Eris was the opposition between Uranus and Eris when Julian Assange was born. I think Julian Assange is being activated right now by the Uranus conjunct Eris. And he had Pluto oppose his Sun in the last few years. And the Uranus square Pluto that we've been feeling happened on top of his Sun square Uranus. The whole Uranus square Pluto that we've been feeling the last several years, it occurred around 10 to 15 degrees Capricorn and 10 to 15 degrees Aries. Precisely on his, it happened right here. It made a grand cross with his Sun in Capricorn and Uranus and Aries. The Uranus square Pluto, the greatest aspect of this decade, happened to activate Julian Assange. And now the next phase of it is activating Eris in the sky, as Julian Assange has in his Uranus, opposition Eris and Chiron. It's so strange. He has South Node conjunct Makemake, a dwarf planet in Leo, with North Node and Mars conjunct where my Sun and Mars are in Aquarius, precisely where my full moon conjunct the dwarf planet Orcus is in Leo. 1521. 1521. And this is what made me believe in the North Node. It's my father, you know? My mom, my mom was born 9 years before my dad, and her North Node is precisely 20 degrees Leo, where my moon is, and that's what made me believe in the nodes. So, also Julian Assange has Sun conjunct the brightest star in the sky, Sirius. He has Sun conjunct the brightest star in the sky, Sirius. Right around 10 degrees Cancer. He exactly shares a birthday with my little sister, July 3rd, and the same day and year as my father, almost July 2nd. But in Australia, it was the same time, because that's where my dad's moon is. Exactly where my dad's moon is. The Sun square Uranus is a super volatile, stubborn, electric, revolutionary thing. Mars in Aquarius, North Node, a destiny in Aquarius, is a destiny in revolutionary stuff. Julian Assange, I was once skeptical of him because, well, you gotta be skeptical of people that are at the very forefront of whistleblowing, the very forefront of something. I'm skeptical of Edward Snowden, still, very much. But I am no longer skeptical of Julian Assange. He has proven his worth. So I salute you, Julian Assange. I salute you, my brother. I feel a great connection to you, my friend, and, well, I love my soul and I love your soul. This is my chart. I love my chart. I love his chart. And I love what's happening right now. I think Uranus conjunct Eris right now will culminate into another great wave of awakening at the end of this year, and the first peak of Jupiter conjunct Haumea opposition Uranus and Eris is December 26th, and then it stays stuck all the way until March, and then it has one more final peak in about fall of 2017 when Jupiter conjunct Haumea opposes Uranus one final time before it enters into Scorpio. And then, in 2017, the North Node will be in Leo and the South Node will be in Revolutionary Aquarius, which will add to the Uranus conjunct Eris and Jupiter conjunct Haumea opposition Eris. I think this is a great time of awakening. I think that what I felt, and what many people felt, especially during the blood moon eclipses in 2014, which occurred, with Jupiter and Leo trine Uranus. The blood moon eclipses in Libra and Aries occurred in sextile and trine to Jupiter and Leo, trine Uranus in Aries. And the very first wave of this awakening energy I ever felt was around February, March of 2013, when Jupiter in Gemini sextiled Uranus in Aries, while Uranus square Pluto started. This is so goddamn real. I am an Aquarius with Uranus, the planet of Aquarius, in its own sign of Aquarius. I don't say this because I brag. I just love it. I love this. Salute Julian Assange. Much love, everyone who's listening. Peace.